Have you ever searched for a friend's name in your phone, but you only remember part of it? That's exactly how SQL like clause works. It helps your search using pattern, not the full name. So like clause, it will help us select data based on specific pattern. If we don't know exact value, then we can use like clause. It is often used in where clause for the select statement. So for example, you have this table and you want to filter name that start with letter A. So we're going to use like clause to filter the name that start with letter A. And then maybe you want to filter the name that ends with letter, let's say letter O. Then you're going to use like clause to solve that kind of problem. So like clause work with two wildcards, percentage and underscore. Percentage represents 0, 1 or multiple character, while underscore represent a single character. So we're going to use this table to solve these 5 questions so that we can deeply understand how the like clause works. So let's start with the first question. So first question is find all employee whose name start with letter A. So we have this table and the question is asking us to find employee whose name start with letter A. So for that case, we're going to use this. So this is our table, and then we're going to use where emp name like and then start with letter A. So you can put A and then percentage. So this means the employee, this means it will filter the employee that start with letter A. So you can see the letter A is before the percentage. So as we've said that clause is often used in where clause. So you can see, I mean like clause is often used in where clause. So you can see the like clause is used in where clause, where here's the column name that you want to apply the like clause, and then this is the column name. So for our case, this is the column name where we want to use to filter the name that start with letter A. Therefore, we're going to write the column name and then like, and then A. You can see A is before percentage. So this means it will filter emp name that start with letter A. So let's run this. So you can see Alice and Anna. These are the only employee that start with letter A. Let's proceed to the next question. So the next question is find the employee whose name ends with N. So let's just copy this one. Employee whose name ends with N. Employee whose name, so use the where clause to filter So we are filtering this column, like, and then whose name ends. So end, that means the n will appear after percentage. So this means any name that ends with letter n will be in the final output. So you can see Alice John, can see it ends with letter n. Yeah, so you can see it's the column name, like clause, and then the wildcard percentage, and then the values. So when the value is before percentage, it's it means start with, and when the value is after percentage, we'll filter the name that ends with that value. So for our case, the value is n. Therefore, we're going to filter the m that's has their name ends with letter n. So let's proceed to the next question. So let's simply copy this. So find employees whose name contain Joe. Whose name contain Joe. Whose name contain Joe. So this one is it will filter the employee who has Joe in between, who has Joe, who has this two value in its name. So for our case here, a name that has Joe is this one, Alice, and we can see Joe. So for that case, you just have to put Joe between percentage, because we are looking for the letter Joe should be anywhere or in any position or in any position of the name. So like it's not like starting with Joe or ending with Joe. It's just anywhere within the name. So we put Joe between 2%, and then we run this one. So you can see Alice, it has Joe, and Kelvin, it has Joe. And then we have this other one. Find employee whose city start with letter N and has at least 6 character. So let's just use this one. So find employee whose city start with letter N and has at least 6 character. So the column that we want to apply the like clause is 6. So for that case, just have to change this to city, and then like, and then so it's set with letter N, and then the name should have 6 character. So that means we'll start with, so letter N is the first character, and then we will have second character. So now you're going to use the underscore. So we will put 5 underscores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we put percentage. So this means it will filter the name that start with N and it has 6 character. So the first character is the N, and then we have 5 character. So in total, 6. So if you run this one, so you can see these are the name that start with N, and they have, I mean, the city that start with letter N, and they have 6 characters. And the final question is find employee whose name are exactly 5 characters. Find employee whose name are exactly 5 character. 5 character. So we are filtering employee whose name. So here we'd have to change to whose employee are exactly 5 characters. So therefore we can just remove this and this. So this one represents employee who have 5, whose name is 5 characters long, because we have 5 underscores here, and each underscore represent 1 character. So therefore we can run this one and you can see. So there's no employee whose name have 5 characters. Yeah, so there's no employee whose name has 5 character. Yeah. So if you find this video helpful, kindly subscribe, comment, share, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you.